Hello everyone, in this video I will be telling you about CSS Unit 1 Part 2 topic, that is hijacking and defense, and myself is Ms. Surbi Saruha. First of all, the content part of the whole I will be discussing about control hijacking, then more control hijacking attacks, integer overflow, then more control hijacking attacks, format string vulnerabilities, defense against control hijacking, platform defenses, defense against control hijacking, runtime defenses, advanced control hijacking attacks. Coming to control hijacking, control hijacking attacks overrides some data structures in a victim program that affects its control flow. So what it means is, what they are saying is that a control hijacking attacks, actually what it does, it overrides some data structures in a victim program. Victim program is the one which is getting affected by the virus or something that affects its control flow and affects its performance, and eventually hijacks the control of the program, and it also takes the control of the whole program and possibly the underlying system. It causes some of that data to leak out into other buffers, which can corrupt or overwrite whatever data they were holding. So it corrupts everything, and whatever data they were having, it corrupts the same also. So attacker's goal, what is the attacker's goals in this? Take over target machine, that is web server, execute arbitrary code on target by hijacking application control flow. Example of such kind of hijacking is buffer overflow attacks, integer overflow attacks, format string vulnerabilities. Coming to the next slide, that says is more control hijacking attacks, integer overflow. So in this pie chart form, in this bar chart form, you can see that how this integer overflow is shown, and this is buffer overflow example, in which the buffer, you can see that slowly and gradually it becomes full, it has reached to its maximum. So extensively common bug means error here in C++ program, first major exploit in 1988, internet worm. So this is example of internet worm. Then integer overflow. So example ms dos x midi lib, lib is for library. Then double free space on heap can cause memory manager to write data to specific location. Example CVS server use after free using memory after it is freed, format string vulnerabilities. Example here in the program form, it has shown that void function char pointer buffer1 pointer buffer2 unsigned int length 1 length 2 open curly braces char temp value is given. This is an array of temp name. If len1 plus len2 is greater than 256, then return -1 length check. MEM is for memory copy, temp to buffer1 comma length 1, that is concatenation buffer, it is joining the two buffers. Then mem copy temp1 plus len1 comma buffer2 len2, do something temp, do stuff. So this is how this will show that how the buffer would be filled. Then what if len1 equals to this value and len2 equals to this value? Len1 plus len2 equals to 0. Second mem copy will overflow heap. So in that case, whenever you add both of them, it would be overflow in that case. So len1 plus len2 equals to 0. Then second mem copy would be overflow heap. Now this is the next part, that is format string problem. Now it is telling about the format string. In this, int function char pointer user f, f is for string as you know, printf stderr user. Problem, what if user percentage s that much, most likely program will crash. DOS, if not program will print memory content. Privacy, full exploit using user. Correct form fprint std out percentage s user. So this is vulnerable function, any function using a format string. Printing, printf f printf s printf v printf vf printf vs printf. Logging, system log l1. These are vulnerable functions. Now, what is this platform defense? This is preventing hijacking attacks. It is kind of defensing. It is like preventing it getting from hijacking and from viruses. So, fix bugs, audit software, automated tools, that is Recovery Prefast Prefix. Rewrite software is a type of safe language, Java ML. Difficulty for existing legacy code. Concede overflow but prevent code execution. Add runtime code to defect overflow exploits. Halt process when overflow exploit detected. Stack guard and live safe. Then control hijacking attacks. Stack smashing, overwrite returns address or function pointer. Heap sparing, reliability exploits a heap overflow. Use after free, attacker writes to freed control structure which then get used by victim program. Integer overflows, format string vulnerabilities. So these are kind of control hijacking attacks. This is the diagram of control hijacking attack. In this, the problem is there, that is fixing data with control flow in memory. You can see the local variables. This is a stack frame. These are argument at the end. Then this red area is the data overrides return address. So this is control hijacking attacks. Preventing hijacking attacks. Session hijacking is an attack where a user session is taken over by an attacker. A session starts when you log into a service. For example, your banking application, ends when you log out. So of course, you know the session is what? Session is when you log into any application, and when you log out, the session gets closed. So the attacker relies on the attacker's knowledge of your session cookie. So it is also called cookie hijacking or cookie site hijacking. They attack on your cookies, session cookies, fine. Although any computer session could be hijacked, session hijacking most commonly applies to browser sessions and web applications. So preventing hijacking attacks. As a website visitor, you do not have to blindly trust that website. Have taken appropriate security measures. You can protect yourself in the following security protocol, that is install an effective antivirus. This we all know. If we have an antivirus, so our system gets secured. To ensure the device you are using to access the internet has anti-malware software installed. This will alert you if malware is detected when you visit a malicious website. It will also remove any malware that might accidentally download or installed on your system. Never click on suspicious link. Hackers targets users through the command sections on websites and through emails. Avoid clicking on untrusted links, especially ones that lure you when attractive offers or discounts. So what they want to say is, they want to say never trust any website when they say heavy discounted is there, because that is untrusted site. Avoid storing sensitive data. Storing credit card information on shopping website makes checkouts faster and more convenient. Saving password on web browsers like Google Chrome to auto log into websites eliminates the need to remember password, but it all comes with a high risk of being stolen. It's best to never store sensitive data on websites. It may save you a few seconds, but it also puts you the risk of being attacked. So that is what they are saying, that don't see for the smaller pleasure and be in a big trouble. So always avoid putting your passwords, and that's the best way to avoid the attacks, right? So clear cookies. So always clear your cookies. You can clear your cookies regularly to get rid of the sensitive information stored in browsers like Google Chrome. Access history, clear browsing history. Here tick the checkbox cookies and other site data. Then runtime checking. Runtime checking is real time checking. A monitor detects safety violation and stop execution. Can have high runtime overhead. Often it is hard to detect the bad event. A pointer does not point to a null terminated string, a pointer does not point to the file data structure. Sometimes stopping execution not a good solution, but DOST can cost more than the risk of being owned. Amazon loses dollar this much per hour for downtime. So that is, see how much it can risk. So usually just reset program in such cases can annoy users. Can I please save my data being program crash? Time cannot be stopped. Code must shut down to reactor in at most 500 ns. Runtime checking array bonds. Array bonds can be checked at runtime if the size of the memory object is tracked. Many techniques, some of them break existing code, modified pointer requirement representations would not mention them today. All of them have significant performance impact, can lose order of magnitude with naive implementation, sometimes can trade off some security or compatibility for better performance. Then John Kell's approach in 1997. So what he said was, these are all the ways in which we can prevent our system from being hijacked. So referent object buffer to which the pointer points, maintain a runtime table of allotted object, store beginning address and size of each object, determine whether a given pointer is in bond, replace out of bond addresses with illegal value at runtime, program crashes if pointer is illegally referenced, does not require modified of pointer representation, result of pointer arithmetic must points to some objects, false alarm crash if out of bond pointer used to compound in bond address. This happens very often in existing program. Now what this person said was that keep a bound of your data, and if any data is out of bond, if any data over exceeds that bond, then crash that, then leave that thing. Fine. This is example of a false alarm. See this example, this diagram very carefully. They have put some kind of with help of coding that char, pointer p, q, r, s, these are relevant object 4 bytes, and this p is the malloc. 4 p is for memory allocation, 4 spaces it has taken, so 0 1 2 3 4 you can see. Then q is p plus 1, so p plus 1 is this arrow shows here. S is p plus 5, so p plus 5 goes here 1 2 3 4 5 till this arrow, relevant object 1. Then r equals to s minus 3, s is till 5, and if I do minus, then r is set to illegal because out of bond it has said. This code works even through an illegal in standard C unportable. So this is how false alarm is there. Fine. Thank you. I hope you understand my video. Thank you and have a nice day. Thank you. If you have any kind of questions you want to ask me, then you may ask in the comment section. Thank you.